I'm Big Will Evanson, and it's time to talk sports. Here we go. The final week of the high school football regular season is here, and as you prepare for a big final week and the start of the postseason, let's take a look at the rankings across the state. And here is how things stand in 4A. Palmer Ridge and Erie lead the pack, and those are the only two teams that take down number 3, the Montrose Redhawks. And what a year it has been for them. Outside of those two losses, Montrose has outscored their opponents by an average of over 36 points in their 7 wins. My goodness, they are a wagon. Meanwhile, Fruita, after the tough loss to 4th-ranked Broomfield on their home field Friday, they have slipped from 10 to 15. Fruita's scheduled opponent for this Friday, Adams City, has terminated their football program and thus forfeit the win to the Wildcats, and thus the Wildcats get a 7th win on the year. And how about the Warriors? It's been a while since we've seen them as they have spent the last 3 weeks on the Front Range, but we will get to see them in action this Saturday at Stoker Stadium, and this is a massive game for the Warriors. They will get a look at a really good 7-2 Windsor Wizards team and a win for the Warriors, and they will advance to the postseason. A loss, especially a blowout loss, could mean the end of their season. In 4A, the top 24 teams make the playoffs. Ranked 18th right now, the margin is slim for the Warriors. But back to the Redhawks, they too have a very difficult test against a very sound Pueblo West team on the road. We saw the Cyclones in person all the way back in week 0, and they physically dominated the Grand Junction Tigers in a 32-0 win. But for Montrose, there's a chance to possibly crack the top 2 with a big road win Friday. And now we head to 3A, and how about the Demons of Durango? They have sort of quietly been dominant, and here they find themselves ranked 3rd in the state for 3A. But let's talk Bulldogs. What once seemed like an impossibility early in the season now can very much become a reality for Palisade. They started the season 0-5, but with 3 straight wins, including a dominant 44-6 win over Summit their last time out, they find themselves just within the playoffs, because in 3A, the top 18 teams will make the postseason, so that sets up a humongous battle at Stoker Stadium Friday evening. Those 3rd-ranked Demons will be in town for a showdown with massive playoff implication. There is no doubt this will be a super tough test for the Bulldogs, but if they can keep this one close, perhaps even pull off the upset, Palisade will punch their ticket to the playoffs. The Bulldogs do actually have one more game to go next week against the 14th-ranked team in 3A, Glenwood Springs, on the road. And lastly, we take a look at 2A, and we've got a new number 1 this week as Kent Denver has ripped that title from the hands of the Rifle Bears. But it's those 2 and 3 seeds that are just so interesting. Still, Rifle at 7-1 find themselves ahead of undefeated Delta, but Rifle's 1 loss this season, that came back in week 4 against the Delta Panthers. Either way, whoever you rank these two, they are legit, and they could very well meet in the state title game at the Thunder Bowl in Colorado Springs. But don't forget about Basalt and Moffat County, both teams at 6-2, and they look poised to be amongst the top 16 teams required to make the 2A playoffs. But back to the Big Bad Bears of Rifle, they are licking their chops at this matchup. It has been a rough season thus far for the Titans, and it likely will get rougher on Friday. These highlights from Rifle are coming your way on Friday Night Frenzy, and in Cortez, we've got a battle of the Panthers, but it's been a tale of 2 seasons for both these Cats. Delta, of course, still unbeaten, holding on to a 23-game regular season win streak. We know how good Delta has been this year and of the last few years, and a state championship lives atop the minds of that entire town. But they'll have to face off with a Montezuma Cortez team on the outside looking in of the postseason right now. My goodness, it is going to be an incredibly exciting end to what has been an awesome high school football season. But that's all my time for sports. I'm Big Will Evanson.